I got upset when my mom told me that being disabled is my own fault. So this morning started normal. I got on the bus to school like I do every day. There was an open seat in the disabled section, so I sat down. The lady next to me, maybe late 50s, immediately turned to me and said I shouldn't be sitting there, that I was young and healthy and should stand, that her friend was getting on in a few stops and she deserved the seat more. I didn't say anything back. My younger brother was with me and some kids from my school heard her and started telling her I actually did need the seat. She kept going. When her friend got on, she told me to get up. I stayed sitting. My brother told me to lift up my pants leg so she'd see my prosthetic. I said no. This wasn't the first time someone's harassed me on the bus, and I was done with it. I have every right to sit there, and not everyone can visually prove their disability. I wasn't going to put myself on display just to satisfy some stranger. The bus driver noticed what was happening and told the lady to stop or she'd have to get off. She wouldn't stop, so the driver actually made her get off the bus. Her friend stayed on because she'd been trying to calm her down the whole time. When I got home, I told my mom what happened. I thought she'd be on my side. Instead, she said I was rude and should have given up my seat. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. She said I wasn't born with my disability, that I ended up like this because I was stupid and reckless. She was talking about the accident. When I was 6, I ran into the road without looking. A car hit me. I was in a coma for a month. One of my legs was crushed so badly they had to amputate it. The driver wasn't at fault. He stayed with me, wrapped his jacket around the wound to stop the bleeding, waited for the ambulance. I don't remember any of it. But yeah, technically it was my fault. I was 6 years old and ran into the street, but I've never heard anyone say it out loud like that. My brothers blamed me at first, right after it happened, because our parents split up while I was in the hospital. They kept arguing about whose fault it was, who was supposed to be watching me. By the time I woke up, they were separated, divorced soon after. My brothers got over it pretty quick once the shock wore off. They apologized. My dad's told me multiple times over the years that the divorce wasn't my fault, or my brother's fault. It was between him and mom, but mom kept going. It was like she couldn't stop herself. She said if I hadn't been so stupid, I'd still have my leg and she'd still have a husband. She said it like she'd been holding it in for 12 years and finally it all came out. I just stood there. I've thought those things to myself before, late at night when I can't sleep. Wondered if everything would be different if I just looked both ways. But hearing my own mother say it out loud was different. She realized what she'd said, put her hand over her mouth, started apologizing immediately, saying she didn't mean it. I didn't want to hear it. I went to my room and started crying. Then I decided I wasn't staying there anymore. I'm 18. I can leave if I want to. So I pulled out my suitcase and started packing. I called my dad and told him I needed him to come get me. He said he'd be right there. By the time I finished packing, I could hear shouting from the front of the house. I grabbed my suitcase and went to the door. Dad was there and he was yelling at Mom, really yelling. I'd never heard him that angry. Mom was crying. When she saw my suitcase, she said I couldn't just leave. I told her I'm 18 and I can do what I want. Dad grabbed my suitcase and we walked out. I haven't been back since. My brothers have been texting me asking what happened. I told them. The younger one said he's not surprised, that Mom's been making comments for years but never that direct. My older brother said he'd talk to her but he gets why I left. I'm at Dad's now. He set up the spare room for me. He told me I can stay as long as I need to, that this is my home too.